This week, we get really excited about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and that amazing new Fantastic Four First Steps trailer. We also give you a quick breakdown of all of the really cool guests and things that you can see at Missouri Comic-Con and Kansas Comic-Con coming our way in the next few weeks. Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse. Warning.
Red alert.
Ay, 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 ay!
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger!
That's the emergency alert.
This episode is full of spoilers for some of the latest and greatest nerdy movies and shows.
Spoilers.
Listener discretion is advised. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse podcast. I'm Billy Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oxner.
And this week, we are here to talk about some really fun events happening soon. But before we jump into any of that, we're both kind of nerding out about the same stuff this week. And our nerding out has to do with some stuff that we watched. And so we're just going to go through a couple of those things real quick, starting with the new Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man animated series. Taylor, what did you think about that?
So it's kind of slow. It's good, very good, and I'm
Yeah.
really enjoying it. But it is so far pretty much the slowest burn I would think you could do on a Spider-Man show, without including Ben's death.
That's true. I'm glad they
'Cause they
skipped
didn't-
over that.
Yeah, I'm so glad they did too. I can only see that old man die so many times. It's starting to become like a trauma thing, I
And the-
think.
Obviously, there's a handful of differences. One of them being Uncle Ben's dead before he becomes Spider-Man.
Yep.
So that was interesting.
Also, the spider, where it comes from, was completely different.
Yeah, just out of that random portal in the sky.
hmm Doctor Strange fighting a symbiote.
Yes.
I don't know what the symbiote is on, but it's definitely a symbiote, yeah?
I'm not sure what, it doesn't have to do with where it came from because we have no idea where it came from. Is it mystical, magical because Doctor Strange is involved? But yeah, what the heck is that thing attached to?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy cool that the spider coming from I'm guessing a different planet or is it like
Something.
a different dimension? Yeah, it's something. One of those two things, which it might not even be important where it comes from, and that's kind of maybe why the mystery of it's there. But we get Peter, and who you can tell this was originally meant to be canon, like right off the bat, and then they changed it
Yeah.
because he looks so much like Tom Holland and his mannerisms and stuff a little bit. It's like, whoa.
Yep. I thought the same
whoever
thing.
whoever they got to do the animation and everything really got spot on. May seems to be around the same age and everything, the way she looks. So I thought how Spider-Man met Harry, and then Osborn figured out that he was Spider-Man like right off the bat.
Yeah,
In episode 2 was like insane.
I thought so too. That was another thing I didn't see coming. Oh, did you catch?
Um,
There's all these characters popped in there, like over at
Yeah.
at his internship. We got Amadeus Cho
Yep.
and the girl from Wakanda. I can't remember her name. Oh, and Dr. Connors is a woman in this, which I'm totally fine with. We had the female Doc Ock in Across the Spider-Verse, and she was awesome.
Yeah.
I also had to do a little bit of researching because the name stood out to me as super familiar. And I'm like, why do I know that name? Why do I know that name? And then I looked it up and I'm like, oh, the cool kid that becomes Peter's lab partner, Lonnie Lincoln. Do you know who that is in the comics?
Is it Rocket Racer or is it the Prowler?
He's Tombstone.
Tombstone. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I was trying to figure out Whitman, and Dane Whitman is the Black Knight,
Yes.
but I don't know this Whitman.
Yeah. That Lonnie Lincoln was driving me crazy. So I finally went to the internet and it's like, oh, duh, that's Tombstone. So that's interesting to see. He's such a nice kid. I wonder if there's going to be some kind of a twist with that character at some point.
Well, I mean, the nature of his powers, I think, will make it a little bit more grim.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall animation style and everything, I really enjoy it. Theme song is a play off the original cartoon theme song,
Yep.
which I thought was great. Costume so far sucks, but I think it's
Right.
supposed to.
Yeah, he's got, his amateur costume made out of stuff he put together himself. But I don't know if you saw that one scene, he was kind of sketching his dream costume and it looked like the traditional costume. So I wonder at some point, maybe even the finale or somewhere, we'll get that costume.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But yeah, if you guys are on the fence, go watch it. It's a fun watch. It's not part of the MCU, but it's definitely worth a watch. And I don't think any of the changes they've made have hurt the story whatsoever.
No.
So yeah, go watch it. And then today, as of us recording, this morning we got the world premiere of the new Fantastic Four First Steps trailer. What'd you
Yeah.
think about that?
Man, that thing. Did you watch like the 10-minute long thing where they like are introduced inside of a hangar?
No, I only saw the trailer itself.
Okay, so like Marvel put out like a 10-minute long thing with the cast meeting a bunch of fans and then them introducing the trailer
Okay.
inside of like a hangar, like at NASA, I think,
Okay.
which is pretty cool. But the trailer itself doesn't give you a lot, but it lets you see everything visually. So we at least know what it's gonna look like. I was speechless most of it.
Yeah.
It looked better than I thought it would. The Thing, I only have one complaint. Love the voice tone and everything. I just wish it was a little rougher sounding. I wish they would have warped it a little bit more.
Yeah, made it a little gravelier.
A little bit gravelier, but not anything. The actor, the accent, the way the actor's talking, everything like that's perfect.
Yeah.
I like the sound of the shifting rock every time he moves and
Yeah.
does anything. That was really cool. He looks so comic accurate. It's crazy.
I agree. I thought the way he looked was awesome. The one thing that I thought was interesting that we didn't see in the trailer is we saw everyone's powers except Reed's powers used. So I thought that was interesting. We didn't see him
Oh,
stretch at all.
I don't think I even noticed.
Yeah, we saw, Sue become invisible. We saw Johnny
Uh-huh.
flame up, and we saw, the thing be a rock, but we did not see Reed stretch. The only thing we saw him doing was standing at that big old chalkboard doing a whole bunch of sciencey stuff, which someone has already screen captured and analyzed all the stuff on the chalkboard. And the thing's not even been out that many hours yet, but someone zoomed into this one spot where he's drawing what looks like a portal through the multiverse. And I thought that was kind of interesting, knowing that this, exists in a different universe, a different time frame. But yeah, we didn't see his stretchy powers.
We also didn't see the Human Torch flame on from the front,
That's true.
and we didn't see Galactus from the front.
Yeah, but we did get to see his giant shadow and in the back of his head. And man,
Yeah.
he is not a giant cloud of smoke in space, that's for sure.
He has a big dumb helmet head, and it is awesome.
Yes, we've wanted that big dumb helmet head for so long.
It reminded me, did you ever play the Ultimate Alliance games?
I know what they are, but I have not played them.
Okay, so there's a cutscene in the first one, and you see Galactus, and he's just like walking through this like planet that he's like decimated, taking a stroll basically. And you see him kind of on the side from behind, and he turns and looks at the camera. And I felt for a second that we were going to see the front of his face, like it was going to turn around. It just didn't. And I
Yeah.
was like so bummed out. I
we
want to see the square eyes.
we got to see Herbie. That was cool.
Yeah, I love Herbie, man.
And who the heck is John Malkovich going to be? That's a mystery right now.
So there are a couple theories.
One theory I saw, someone thought he's going to be the Tinkerer.
Oh, really?
And another theory said, what if he's an older Nathan
No,
Richards?
some people think he's the Red Ghost.
Okay.
If you Google that, you'll see a picture.
Yeah. I like the look and feel of this movie. I think it's interesting that it's in that kind of, I don't know, it felt very Stepford Wivesy kind of watching it and just that.
Yeah, and did you notice it was in Fantastivision?
Right? I did notice that. But I'm kind of excited about the whole different feel of this movie. And then I'm very excited to see if by the end of it, will things be drawn into the greater multiverse? Will we get to see RDJ, Doctor Doom, and all that good stuff? I doubt we see a lot of him, but I feel like we're going to see him at the end at least.
Yeah, you see the Marvel news that the RDJ Doctor Doom will be a one and done.
Ooh, no, I did not see that. Man, after watching that this morning, I'm so pumped for it to come out. And then
Oh
speaking of
yeah,
movies coming out, we're 1 week away from the new Captain America movie coming out. I'm really excited about that.
absolutely.
Well, hey, those things are awesome. If you haven't seen that trailer, definitely go give it a look. It's not really long, it's about a minute and a half. It doesn't show tons, but it's enough to make you want to see this thing.
Uh-huh.
But hey, we've got some events coming up in the vicinity, Missouri, Kansas area, and we thought we would do a rundown of what's going to be going on at these events. And we're going to be at them as press and try to get some cool interviews to bring back for you guys to listen to. But hey, the first one coming up really soon is Missouri Comic Con. It's February 15th and 16th in Springfield, Missouri, which that's a Saturday and a Sunday. Gonna be there on Saturday and scope the thing out and have a blast meeting some of these people. And when they have a few minutes of their time, get some interviews. And otherwise, checking out the event itself. I don't know, maybe buying some cool stuff and trying to get some autographs and just come back and tell you guys all about it. But before we go to it, if you guys in the area, you have, over a week to try to get yourself together and get down there. Here's some of the guests that are coming up. So at Missouri Comic Con, the first guest on the list, in no particular order here, we have Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel like we see him every like few years.
Yeah, we don't see him as much as I've seen some of these other people at
Yeah.
conventions. But that's really cool. He's also, for some of you a little bit younger folks, he's the Ice King on Adventure Time. So that's kind of cool too.
Yeah.
He's also Spyro the Dragon. I don't know, did you know that?
I didn't know that actually.
But yeah, and his IMDb is so huge, it would take forever to say all of them. Ooh, the next one on the list is another fan favorite. We got Keith David, who you may know as he's been Goliath on Gargoyles. Let's see, he's been Dr. Facilier on The Princess and the Frog. He's the president on Rick and Morty. He's in some of those new shows, like, what is it, Has Been Hotel.
What's the character he is on Halo?
Oh, yeah, he is on Halo. The
Halo.
Arbiter.
That's what it is.
Yeah, this man has also been in like 1,000 things. Ooh, the next one on the list, we got Chris Sarandon, which that's pretty cool. My wife's favorite movie of all time is The Princess Bride, and he's Prince Humperdinck. But he's also the speaking voice of Jack Skellington in The Nightmare Before Christmas, so that's pretty cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the singing voice is Danny Elfman, who does all the music and everything, but the speaking voice is the actor Chris Sarandon, so that's kind of cool.
Okay. Yeah, I had no idea. It's funny.
We also got Will Wheaton, who, played Wesley Crusher on Star Trek, and he reprised his role in Star Trek Picard, Star Trek Prodigy. He was in Stand By Me. He showed up in Big Bang Theory several times. He's just a really cool dude if you follow him on social media. Oh, we got some of the girls from Charmed. We got Rose McGowan and Holly Marie Combs, who they were some of the sisters from that show. We got, Mark Paul Gosselaar, who played Zach Morris on Saved by the Bell, and he's been a couple of villains lately in some shows. I don't know if you watch Found on NBC. My wife and I really like that show, but he's the main villain on that show, and he's a pretty good bad guy.
I've never seen it. Yeah, I don't know.
We got Jason Mewes from, Jay and Silent Bob fame.
Woo!
That one's always fun. We got John Schneider, Jonathan Kent from Smallville, and Bo Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard. This one I'm pretty excited about. Christina V. She is a ton of animated voices. I'm pretty sure she's Sailor Mars. She's Ladybug from Ladybug and Cat Noir. She's a ton of other stuff, but right now I'm very excited because my son and I talked last week about nerding out about Hunter x Hunter. Well, she's Killua, which is one of the two main characters on Hunter x Hunter, and I'm really excited to meet her. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's sick. You guys just finished that. Do you got a Funko?
Knowing this event was coming up, I didn't have a Funko of those characters, but a couple of weeks ago, I found one cheap on eBay and ordered it, and it looks really cool. So yeah, I'm going to try to get that signed.
Cool.
Let's see, the next one on the list, her name is Jeremy Lee. I looked up some of the stuff that she's in, and it looks like she's famous for the pretty popular anime. I've never watched it, but I kind of want to. It's called Fairy Tale. She's in that one. I'm pretty sure she's been in Bleach and a ton of video game stuff like Final Fantasy, some of the newer ones. But yeah, her IMDb is massive as well. Oh, she was the voice on The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. She was that Zonai queen, Sonia. She was her, so that was kind of cool too.
Okay.
And then we got this guy, Todd Habercorn. He was also in Fairy Tale, and he's been in video games like World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy and all that stuff. It looks like he's one of the characters on Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He was in Dragon Ball. Oh, he was also Henry Gyrick in the new X-Men 97.
Oh, okay. They didn't use the same guy. Interesting.
Yeah. Let's see, we got Chris Potter, and he is the voice of both Gambit and Cable in the X-Men animated series. So that's kind of cool.
I didn't know that was the same voice. That's crazy.
I'm wondering, because the way this is split up, I wonder if he's Gambit in the old one and Cable in the new one, because I noticed they've done that to some of these characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like Jean Grey in the old one is now she's one of those TV personalities in the new one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because they
I
had a
thought they
diff.
played the.
A lot of them
Okay.
are the same, but a lot of them had very different sounding voices, so they kind of still gave him a part, but a different part.
Oh, okay. I guess I never realized that.
Let's see, the next one on the list is Nick Castle, and it looks like he was one of the people in the Halloween franchise to play Michael Myers. And then, let's see, Spencer Carness he's in that group, Ice Nine Kills.
Oh yeah, that's that metal group that does. So what they do is they do albums, and then each song on the album is based off a different horror movie,
Yeah,
and then they do like music videos based off of those. They're actually pretty ingenious, and that guy is a really good looking dude, and he's pretty charismatic, and so
yeah.
he's one of those kind of guys who like can do this kind of thing because of the horror genre and how popular that is.
Yeah. Let's see, we got Ethan Embry. He played Rusty Griswold on the Vegas Vacation movie, and he's been in tons of other movies like Sweet Home Alabama, That Thing You Do, Disturbing Behavior, all kinds of movies that I'm sure many of you have seen. Oh, this is one I'm
Oh yeah.
very excited about. Catherine Sutherland. I've mentioned about 100 times that I've met every living Mighty Morphin Power Ranger except Kat. And I'm finally going to get to meet her. That's making me pretty excited.
Are you gonna tell her that she was the last one?
I am going to tell her, and I'm going to be bringing a Pink Ranger pop for her to sign, and it's going to be
Are you
awesome.
gonna be like, this took me way too long. You should have gotten here quicker.
Right. It's funny because when you think of Power Rangers, everyone always thinks of Tommy and Kimberly, Tommy and Kimberly. But there's this whole episode where Kimberly writes him a Dear John letter, and at some point he gets with Kat. And in canon, both in the comics and the TV series, Kat is who Tommy marries, and they have a kid named JJ and all this stuff. So I have a special place for her character because that's who Tommy winds up with, and I think she's super cool.
Yeah, whatever. There's no Kimberly.
Right? To our 10-year-old selves, I don't think that anyone's a Kimberly.
Yeah, maybe not.
Oh, we also got Vernon Wells. And so my first thought when I think of Vernon Wells, he was Ransik, the kind of the Rita Repulsa Lord Zed character from the Power Rangers Time Force season. He was their main villain leader. But this dude showed up in so many things. He was in, gosh, that movie Inner Space with Martin Short. He was in Mad Max. He was that villain called Wez with the big mohawk. He's been in all kinds of stuff, but I'm kind of excited to meet him too. Oh, my nephew, who is going on 4, was obsessed with Yo Gabba Gabba. And last year, this con got Steve from Blue's Clues. This year, they've got DJ Lance from Yo Gabba Gabba.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I was really excited because it's not too terribly much to meet this dude and get his autograph. But they made such a limited run of the DJ Lance Funko Pop. They only made, I think, less than 400 or something like that worldwide. So that thing's like nearly $200 on eBay. I was pretty bummed about that.
Dang.
I know. I think I saw a cheaper one for 140, so I'm like, yeah, that's not happening.
That's crazy.
Oh, we got some wrestlers. We got Jerry the King Lawler coming.
Mm-hmm.
We got Jim Ross.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll do like a panel where they talk about what it's like announcing for wrestling.
Yeah. We got Jeff Hardy. Matt Hardy was coming, but Matt had to back out last minute. But there's going to be some kind of like a Hardy Bros after party led by Jeff. His brother was going to be with him, but it's just Jeff, it looks like, for this weekend.
That's crazy.
And that's it for the celebrity side of things. But there's a couple of comic creators. We got Steve Lialoa and Jeremy Clark, and looks like a huge list of cosplayers. But yeah, for a little event that this is, I think, the 3rd year, they got a pretty solid lineup. I'm pretty excited about it.
That's awesome.
And then in just a few more weeks down the road before Planet Comic Con, and we'll talk about Planet Comic Con down the road. That's, of course, our hometown event. But we have Kansas Comic Con, and this is put on by the same people doing Missouri Comic Con. And this is March 15th and 16th over in Wichita, Kansas. And these guys also have a pretty solid lineup. We got Ray Park, who was, Toad from the X-Men movie, and he was Darth Maul in that Phantom Menace movie. I had the chance to meet him last year. He was pretty awesome. Oh, we have Kari Payton. That's Cyborg from Teen Titans, and that's, King Ezekiel from The Walking Dead. That dude is such a cool dude.
That's awesome.
I had a chance to meet him in the past, but all we did was, take a photo together. He made a little video for my kids. He was so nice. But I think I
Did you
might
say
bring
booyah?
what did he I don't think he said booyah, but he sang the waffle song from Teen Titans Go.
Oh, that's awesome. Almost as good as booyah.
Yeah, right.
I bet people yell booyah at him all the
Oh,
time.
I'm sure. I'm sure. But I might, I've met him before, but I didn't get an autograph. But I have a Cyborg Funko Pop. I might just have to bring that thing.
Oh, which cyborg are you gonna do?
The one I have, can you picture the Teen Titans Go episode where they look all 80s punk rock and everything's all pink and purple tones? I know that episode had a
Oh,
special name.
where he has like a mohawk and he's like he has both of his fists out on each side.
Yes, and he has a kind of a guitar that looks like a big pink axe.
Yeah, okay. So I have all of those in that set except for that version of that character
Oh, dang.
because I got the cyborg where it's just his two fists without the guitar.
Gotcha. And well, that's
Yeah, but
and
it's
that's the
also the same
only.
one with the polar bear, right?
It's the same one with the polar bear. That's right.
Hmm.
From that set, I have Cyborg and Beast Boy, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I have to get this thing signed.
That Beast Boy will never stand upright.
Yeah.
It's insane. Drives me crazy.
We got a couple of Star Trek guests. We have Gates McFadden, who was Dr. Beverly Crusher on Next Generation. And we have
It's
John
awesome.
John Delancey, who was Q on Star Trek Next Generation. He's also on My Little Pony's Friendship is Magic, the character Discord. So for you little bronies out there, got that tidbit for you. Okay, this is another one I'm crazy pumped about. We have Jim Cummings coming to this event. Jim Cummings is Darkwing Duck. He is Winnie the Pooh. He is Tigger. He is Pete from all the Mickey Mouse stuff. He's, gosh, Hondo Onaka from Star Wars The Clone Wars. He's the Tasmanian Devil. He's the Cheshire Cat. His IMDb list is so long that I would be here for the next 3 hours to list the whole thing, but I'm so excited to meet Jim Cummings.
Which Funko are you getting
So I
signed?
have a Darkwing Funko and a Hondo Onaka Funko, but I think I'm gonna go Darkwing to get that signature on.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. I've really been going back and forth about this, but that's the one I'm gonna go with.
Yeah. Are you gonna bring both of them with you just in case you change your mind?
I was thinking the opposite. I'm just gonna bring one so I don't dwell on it.
All right.
Oh, we have Gray Delisle, who is amazing. She's, Daphne from Scooby Doo. She's from Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. She's Azula from Avatar: The Last Airbender. She's on Fairly Odd Parents.
Azula.
She's a thousand things as well. I think last year when I looked her up, she's the most prolific female voice actor, meaning she's had more roles than any other current female voice actress, and I think that's really cool.
That's awesome.
And she was at the Missouri event last year, and I had the chance to interview her. She's a really cool person, and it's cool that she's coming to this event.
Yeah.
Okay, the four 80s/90s Ninja Turtles, all of them are going to be there. So Rob Paulson, who was Raphael, Cam Clark, who was Leonardo, Townsend Coleman, who was Michelangelo, and Barry Gordon, who was Donatello. They're all going to be there at this event, as well as Renee Jacobs, who was April O'Neil in the original cartoon. And I'm really excited about that.
That's incredible.
Of all of those guys, Rob Paulson, I've followed Rob since you could follow celebrities online. Literally, my quote, on my little bio on Facebook, my quote is a quote of his, and of course, I give him credit. It's not like a Michael Scott, Wayne Gretzky situation here, but um, it says, what did it say? Laughter's the best medicine. You can't OD, and the refills are free. And then I put his name, Rob Paulson, next to it. But like I love that. I wish it was on a shirt. But man, he's been so many things too, not just Raphael. He was Pinky on Pinky and the Brain. He's one of the Animaniacs. He's Carl Weezer on Jimmy Neutron. His IMDb is so huge. Same with, let's see, Cam Clark, who was Leonardo. I think he was Flounder in The Little Mermaid. He's been one of the versions of He-Man. He's been one of the versions of Simba. He's been in some anime stuff, it looks like, or video game stuff. Townsend Coleman, he was the also not only Michelangelo, but he was the Tick.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And let's see, Barry Gordon, he was a lot of things. He was the Nestle Quick Rabbit. So that's kind of fun. But Donatello was always my favorite turtle, the sciencey smart nerd one. So I'm just
Yeah.
so excited to meet all these guys. I have a whole set of those animated turtles with April O'Neil, so I'm definitely going to be bringing those to get signed.
Man, you're gonna have to bring a suitcase.
Right. This event, it's the Turtles and Jim Cummings and maybe that Cyborg that I'm going to be worried about getting signed.
Yep.
Oh, let's see. There's a few more. We got Billy West, who was on our podcast last year from the Missouri event. He's, Fry and Zoidberg and the Doctor from Futurama. He's Doug and Roger from the Doug series. He's Ren and Stimpy. He's been Bugs Bunny. He's been Elmer Fudd. He's been so many things. He's a cool dude. Oh, we have this actor, Alejandro Saab. He's been in things like Bleach and other things like that. But I think recently he was Quentin Beck on Marvel's What If. So he was Mysterio. So that was kind of cool. And then Todd Haberkorn, who we mentioned from the previous event, he's going to be at this one as well. So is Marty Grabstein. He's the voice of Courage, the Cowardly Dog. Oh, Scott Ennis is going to be there. We met him at Missouri last year, the voice of Shaggy and Scooby and all kinds of characters. CJ Graham, he is one of the versions of Jason Voorhees in one of those movies, or a couple of those movies. Really tall guy, really charismatic guy. He's going to be there. And of course, we got some wrestlers represented at this event as well. Lex Luger's going to be there. Jimmy Hart's going to be there. Matt Riddle's going to be there. But yeah, this event is looking pretty solid as well. There's a handful of comic creators. We got Michael Golden, Arthur Sudem, and Renee Witterstatter, and then a whole bunch of cosplayers, it looks like. But yeah, this one is coming up March 15th and 16th over in Wichita. So, man, there's a lot of cool stuff coming our way. And then, of course, we have the massive Kansas City event, Planet Comic Con, coming later in March. And we'll talk a little bit about that down the road. But I'm just excited for all this stuff coming our way, man.
Yeah, a lot going on. All these people coming. Everything's really exciting. It's that time of year where we see a lot of people we don't see all year long, too. So
Yeah.
excited for that.
Pretty pumped. But yeah, that's really about it for this week. We hope you guys have the chance to make some plans and make your way out to both Springfield and Wichita. And then, of course, later down the road, Planet Comic Con. And yeah, not only we get to see all these great people, but like Taylor said, all the friends that you only get to see a couple times a year are going to be there. And of course, we're going to be there. You guys got to come see us, come say hi. And it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, absolutely.
But hey, as for us here at the Taylorverse, I've been Billy Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oxner.
And come back next week, guys. Same Taylor time, same Taylor channel.
Bye.
Bye.